It has to be some sort of character flaw that the last project you buy is the one that's furthest forward in your mind, when you've got a million other projects you should be working on. But today, in our today's video, we're going to be looking for an engine for our new Ford F100 Shortbed Bumpside pickup. So come along and we'll see what we find. The first truck I looked at was a 65 Ford that my buddy had in his yard. It had an Allison Chalmers engine in it, I guess out of a tractor or something, that he had picked up from an older guy in a city nearby. Supposed to run, he only ran it on starting fluid. Wasn't doing a whole lot with it. Truck looked really straight, I thought. Kind of looked it over, and then when I looked in the bed, I guess I figured out that the bed was a bit rusted out. So still a good project, just something to kind of keep in mind, and taking this video helped me with that. We went out to another site and looked at some other trucks, and one of them was this Ford Shortbed. I believe they call this a Bumpside, which is 67 to 1972. It's very similar to the one I have. Manual transmission. I think I'd like to have it, actually, and so I spent some time trying to negotiate or talk him out of it, but he's pretty attached to it at this point, so I'm not sure I'll be able to get it. But it's one of those things you just kind of keep working on, and over time I've bought more than a few vehicles from my buddy by just continuing to ask him about them, and at some point he gets tired of it, calls me, and next thing you know, I own it. This is a little International Scout, an early one that he's had for a while, and I've known about it. I like this little pickup style. This one has some rust. It's not horrible, but it does not have a title. So it's not something I'm going to be buying anytime soon. It's just something that I think is interesting, and taking this video allows me to kind of keep that in mind as far as what it looks like today. Now, he did offer me this truck for $1,500. It's actually doesn't look terrible. It's I don't know what you call that cab, but it's an extra cab, manual transmission. I believe it's got a 360 or a 390 in it, and it needs brakes at this point. I believe it runs. I'm not sure that I like this body style, but it would be a very effective truck. It's an F250, so it's a 3/4 ton. I think the wheels alone are probably worth some money. But yeah, we looked at the engine and kind of checked it all out. It's got a little bit of rust, not a lot, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll consider it. I don't know that I have a need for it, so we'll go from there. Throughout all this, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm only looking for an engine. I'm just kind of looking at different vehicles to see if I can find a viable engine. I kind of have something working in the background where I might be able to pick one up in a nearby town, but I do want to explore all the options before I pull the trigger on that. It seems to be Ford Truck Day. Here's another Shortbed, and this time we're not at the land anymore, but we are at a junkyard nearby. So this one needs a lot of work, but I noted the seat was in somewhat decent condition, but I did find a better one later on, which I have not yet purchased. Now, this is from a junkyard that we stopped at. It happened to be open today, and so we wandered around in there and looked at all the vehicles, and so you'll see a lot of different things out here. It seems to be an older vehicle junkyard, a lot of Fords, a lot of kind of cool cars. Some of them everything is for sale. You can buy a complete car if you want. Obviously, in most cases, no title. But that's just kind of for you to figure out. So I'll just kind of watch this and just note anything we see that's of note. This section appears to be the imports, and so I see some Fiats, I see MGs, there's a TR6 there. So yeah, there's a lot of different British cars back in this area. And you know, I think all I have to say about this area is I secretly have a desire to own another Fiat X19. I think there might have been one or two there, but I didn't really look at them very closely. think I'd like to get one in good running condition and not have to try to salvage something out of Italian rust. My buddy had told me about a car he'd seen there that looked like it had a hot motor from the 60s, and the car ended up being a 1967 Thunderbird. And it's actually a 4-door model. It's kind of an interesting car. It's got suicide doors in the rear. Now these cars were sort of a response, I think, when the Mercury Cougar came out with the 289 V8. It put a lot of pressure to have a more luxury car, and so they made these in 2 doors and 4 doors. And this one was, we thought it had a 289 in it. And then when we started digging, I actually took some pictures of the VIN number and determined that it has a 428 cubic inch engine in it. I believe it's a 4-barrel carburetor, and it's a fully loaded car. I mean, I believe it's got, you know, air conditioning, power seats. I think they might have come with 8-track tape players, and, you know, just a very luxury car for its time. Now that 428 is supposed to be about 345 horsepower, but that's the old gross numbers instead of net. Anyway, it's an interesting car, and I talked to the owner about it, and the engine, if I wanted the engine, it would be like $600, but then I could buy the whole car for like another $400, and so I'm seriously thinking about picking this up. He said he would even deliver it, but he would charge me a couple $100 to deliver it, this is about an hour away from me. If I was towing it, it would probably be much longer than that, and a lot more of my gray hairs, you know, towing that thing on a tow dolly. So something I'm considering. I may give him a call earlier next week and just kind of see what I can do. We were able to turn the motor briefly. I haven't spun it all the way over. I'm not sure what a 428 is worth, or whether this car's more, obviously no title, but it appears that we could probably get one through, through him or through somebody else. So anyway, just interesting stuff to look at, and this interior doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's actually in pretty good condition. It just needs to be cleaned up. The car obviously has no rust, so just it was the most interesting thing I saw there. I went back in to check the mileage, and it had 105,000 miles on it. You'll note that Partridge Family album there. I mean, we're talking 1970s here, and a lot of sun damage. So, cool car anyway. Now, there were a lot of nuggets like this 1970s Camaro that I saw in there, and this is an easy project, something you could get and build and make it exactly like you like it. My buddy pointed out this diesel Volkswagen, which, they're still out there, and I thought there's no way it has an engine still in it, but I was able to get the hood open, and sure enough, there's still a diesel engine in there, and it looks pretty complete. I'm sure it would run. I mean, these things, unless the timing belt is broken, this thing is a runner. Those diesels, for some reason, I think the lubricity in the fuel just keeps everything lubricated for years and years and years, and you can sometimes just bring them back to life. And this little Ford truck caught Daniel's attention. He has a couple just like it. I think either from a parts standpoint or whatever else. We did check on price, and it was about $1,000 as it sits. But I mean, it's a lot of work, and you really have to love something to be able to work on it and put the time and effort into bringing things back. At this point, he's just hoarding stuff. He's not really working on it that much, so I try to buy as much stuff as I can from him if it suits my needs. I'm just helping him out, you know.
Okay.
352.
I didn't notice
They
it.
all 352 blocks, 390s, 428s.
I think 352 is the family of like
Yeah.
360, 390.
Yeah, Effie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. Yeah.
Another short bed.
What you said on this one, did you have a price or no? Well, my experience has been whenever you buy something this old, you're doing everything. You know, you're replacing fuel lines, you're unfreezing stuck brake wheel cylinders. It's just the worst. No, it's straight. And the vinyl top didn't rust out the whole car.
In the grand scheme of things, I did not find an engine at this junkyard, but I did find a source for a lot of really good parts for Ford pickups, older Ford pickups. And so I'll be going back there, even though it's a little bit of a distance. I may end up with another project out of there, something to bring to the channel. But in the meantime, it's a lot of fun just getting out on a Saturday and just looking at junk.
So what do you like about it?
It's a nice old truck now.
Yeah.
I like it because it's short bed.
It's a half ton. It's got some body damage, but it's not rusty. A ver, ¿qué tiene? What does it have engine wise? That's a 302?
Yeah, like full.
Oh yeah, that'll probably run, dude.
Yeah.
And it's a what's with the tranny? I don't see a stick poking out of there. I mean, it's a standard, but
Yeah, it's there though. The tranny.
is it? Yeah. Did you see this? A fender, body damage.
Where? It's nothing. I like 3 or 4 front clips in there.
Yeah, I know. You have a surplus of stuff.
But I don't have a short bed like this.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, if you get this short bed, you can probably sell me that other short bed. What's this? Is that also a? Oh no, it's a long bed.
I should tell him this one and the other one, huh? Both one for that truck.
Send them the pictures and then negotiate.
Yeah.
Make it look good. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he seems open, you know, like he.
It's the end of a long hot day of combing junkyards, looking for an engine for my F100, which I was unsuccessful at, but it did give me a good perspective on what's out there, and I did have some thoughts about buying some things that I'm now starting to reflect back on. Still, I'll probably go back and I'll probably buy something, but for now I've got another plan for an engine, and I'll be kind of updating you as I move along on that journey. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you coming along with me today, and I hope that you have a great weekend.